Cool. So let's go ahead and get started. So all of you guys have your computers open. So now I want you all to go to this website here. So I'll show you what to do. So I'll show you what to do. So you need to go to this tinyurl.com/pythonenv, and I'm going to have you type that into your computers in front of you.
Now, a stupid question, that slash, is that a forward slash or a backward slash?
That's a forward slash.
That's a forward.
Yeah, because we read left to right, right? So it's right leaning, so it's forward. So what you're gonna do in Google Chrome, right, is you're gonna go.
Oh, that's in Google Chrome?
You Google Chrome or just any.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
It's funny when you think that it's an error,
Here, let me take a look.
but at the same time, I see the.
Oh,
Error, yeah.
click on it, real quick, click, and then hit the right arrow on the keyboard. Yeah, that one, yeah, and then hit backspace.
Oh, I can talk this thing, huh?
And then hit enter.
I got the same error.
There.
I got the same error.
Here, I can just type it. So I go like this, tinyurl.com/python. That should, there we go.
Okay.
And for you, maybe just misspelled. Oh, it's just a tiny little typo here. You put two Y's instead of PYTHON.
Bless you.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so this is gonna be the kind of like playground that we're messing with today. And I'm gonna teach you the different parts of what we're looking at, and so you can follow along. So the first thing we're gonna be doing is we're just gonna be getting started with the tool. So we're using this website I took you to, right? I'm gonna teach you how to use the website. And then I'm going to teach you about print statements. Okay, so you don't know what a print statement is yet, but I'm going to teach you. So first of all, this is kind of what the website looks for you, right? So we have this open empty space on the left and on the right. We have a few buttons all around. We have some buttons on the left. We have this Learn Python app at the top. There should also be an ad, and that's fine. But there's a few components on the website, right? So here, does the website look okay for you?
They have a whole bunch of stuff. Everybody else is there. I got stuff.
Oh, it might have some stuff in there already. You can go ahead and like highlight all of it and delete it. Yeah. So I'll show you what I mean. That is a loud phone. Oh my gosh. Like you are never missing a call on that phone. So okay, this is what the website's going to look like at first.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and you can actually just highlight all of this stuff on the left here and then hit backspace.
Backspace?
Yeah. Just get rid of it. So there is going to be stuff here, so you can highlight it and get rid of it. Is everybody good?
Yes.
Okay, so this part on the left should be empty.
Right.
Right, okay, awesome. So the first thing we're gonna have you do before I even tell you what the different components are is I want you to type exactly what you see on the left here. You see it says print hello world. I want you to type exactly like to the T, no typos or anything like that. Print hello world. So don't forget the parentheses or the quotation marks. Yeah, sure, here. So go ahead and type exactly what I have here. Can you read that okay? It's print hello world here.
All one word?
Yes, and then right after the print, put a
But
big,
I do have-
yeah, so right after the print, put a beginning parentheses.
Does it automatically?
Oh, does it?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And back one here.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even know that.
I didn't either.
Yeah, it does. It adds another one automatically.
Close parentheses.
The close, I think it adds the close parentheses
That's,
on.
I got that's space in my head.
Okay.
It has a space of it.
Yeah.
Space. And then what is the other one?
Oh yeah, I just,
World?
yeah, it just says hello world. Yeah. You don't need to type it exact. You don't need to type hello world exactly as I have it.
You said exact, that's what you said.
All right, you know what? Exactly like I have it. Exactly like I have it. So print hello world. So I'm gonna come around, just take a look at your screens.
Yeah, make sure that
So don't forget the T after print.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
see that?
Perfect.
you're right. Why is this in there?
Great question. So it's,
That's correct.
sometimes there's like some colors that will appear if there's something wrong. So if you put a beginning parentheses here,
Oh, because it's a different.
yeah, it has to follow exactly what I have. Yeah, I'll do it.
Unfortunately, I didn't bring my distance class.
That's okay, that's okay. But you see, so it's okay to,
Oh, somebody, yeah.
yeah, maybe the, see if those glasses work. So I haven't shown you what to do with this yet,
Uh-huh.
but what's important is we have print, right? We have beginning and ending parentheses,
Right,
and then in between these two guys, we have something. Hello world.
uh-huh.
Okay. So now I'm gonna have you guys click the run button.
Right, okay.
Yes, so it's a blue button in like the middle of the page.
Uh-huh.
So go ahead and click that. Now tell me, what is it that appears on the right?
Hello world.
Shell.
Shell? Yeah, right. Okay, but underneath the word shell.
Hello world.
Yeah, hello world. Cool. So you hit run and it printed out something. It just, like, it didn't physically print something out like a piece of paper, but it at least displayed something. So first of all, let's take a pause. Congratulations. You are all programmers. You did it. You can tell your friends you've done some programming.
Okay.
Why did it print the hello world on the other side?
I'll explain in a second. Hi, Vivian. Hi. So go ahead and go to a computer. This is like a kind of like a hands-on session. So let's go over the different components here. So on the left, I actually color coded them for you.
Mhm.
On the left, we have this orange box, and this is called, I call it the coding box. So this is just, you can type a bunch of stuff into it. Really, you can type some instructions into it. You have to be very specific and accurate with these instructions. But you can type some instructions in on the left, and then you get something on the right.
So it takes it over.
Yeah, so you type in a set of instructions here on the left, and then it will do something here on the right. So in this case, in my coding box, I went ahead and I said, print hello world. And then obediently on the right, it printed hello world.
So you gave it a command.
Precisely, I gave it a command, yes. I'm calling this button up here the executor. So literally just when you want to take the set of instructions you put into the coding box and you want to actually like make them happen, you just hit run. Are there any questions so far?
But you have to put print in the world.
Comes up automatically.
So print is actually just one thing you can do. You can do a whole bunch of stuff.
I mean, if you didn't put print, it would put in hello world.
No, let's try that out actually. So if I just, let's try that out. If I just type in, you don't have to follow along with me, but if I just type in hello world and then I run, nothing happens.
Oh.
So the command is that it has printed.
Precisely, precisely.
I
So
It
see,
has to be very specific.
exactly, yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
how many prints do they have?
Oh, thousands, if not like millions, but we're not, obviously, we're not gonna.
So if you had the print in caps, it would have done that?
Let's try it out. These are excellent questions, by the way. This is exactly how a computer scientist thinks. It gives me an error.
Oh,
Name error, name print is not defined.
wow.
Okay, so let's figure this out. Why is it doing that? What if I call print with a capital P? What do you think is gonna happen?
It may not do it then, because it's not exact.
Bingo. You're on a roll. Diane. Beautiful. Print, it's gonna be like, what the hell is print? I don't know what that is.
Okay.
We need a lowercase, it demands, okay, this is good. So it demands exact precision. Okay, yeah. So Vivian, go ahead and did you turn on that computer? I can help you set it up here. So
So I can be, I can't use my iPhone, but I think my computer.
You can do
You know how to sign?
Let me tell you why I can't use this, because I have to go over what's in the other line.
The password.
You can do coding, but you cannot use your phone, like me.
No, you guys are terrible.
Remember when you do.
it's actually this thing right here.
VHS tape.
So when you get it to the computer, it'll show you. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit while we're getting ready still. So Diane uncovered something extremely important in computer science, which is that there is ambiguity is not really allowed.
Yeah.
Humans are really good at like abstract thinking. You know, we're very adaptive. We can take problems that are changing quickly and figure out what to do with them. Computers are way better than us at math, right? If you give it a long equation, it'll do it in a second. But computers are not good at adaptation. You need to teach it how to adapt to certain problems, or computers always stick to a rule book. They will stick to a rule book and they will not deviate from that rule book. So part of the rule book is print is all lowercase. If you screw up if you say print with a capital T, it breaks. It has to be exact to the parameters. Okay. Now, what's interesting is how if I just do hello world and then not print, it doesn't break. It just doesn't do anything because I haven't told it what to do with this information. So that's one thing we kind of stumbled upon. Did the computer log in okay? Yeah, okay. So at the bottom of the screen, do you know how to get to Google Chrome? Yeah, here, I'll show you.
It's on the bottom.
Yeah. Firefox works too, yeah. Yeah, do Google Chrome. And then just do everyone. And then go into here. And then I'm gonna type something. There we go, perfect. So I have, and then highlight all of this. Yeah, and then we're gonna just delete. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so everyone's good to go. So we have this tool. We have some instructions, and these are the parts, right? So we have the coding box on the left. This has our instructions. We have the shell on the right. The shell is the technical name for it, but you can really just think of it as like a electronic printer. It's like showing you the results of the instructions, right? And then the executor runs the code. Okay, then let's try adding something else. So I'm gonna ask you guys to actually use a little bit of variation here. So I went ahead and I typed in print my name is Augustine. Obviously, your name is not Augustine. So I want you to go ahead, I want you to make another print statement. So a print statement is literally just the word print and then parentheses.
Underneath it?
Underneath it, yeah. So hit enter to add a new line on the right side of the keyboard.
I screwed up. I lost it. I pressed that little C.
Here, I can.
And I lost it.
Okay. On the left side.
I wanted to do
Go ahead
two.
and go here. And then,
So I do
oh, actually, go to the first tab here.
here,
There you go. So go ahead and click into here.
in here.
Yes, in there.
I didn't know how to get to number.
And then hit enter on the keyboard.
Got
There you go.
I don't know how to see.
So the way, so make sure, so in order to select the code box,
Mhm.
make sure to click it. So click anywhere in the empty field. So it can be, actually, I'm sorry, click after hello world. So click to the right of here. And then hit enter.
That gives you a number the next.
Oh,
That gives you the
okay.
next line.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a typewriter.
And
I
then I
guess.
print my name.
Yeah, so then go ahead and type in print, and then you can say like, my name is Tony. Yeah. Perfect, you got it. And then, yeah, and then you can go ahead.
Oh, one word.
Yeah, yeah, you did it right.
One word.
That's interesting, I don't know why.
Go.
Oh, I see. That's
Yeah,
something.
you have to print, yeah. Type
So
my name.
you have to be
My
extremely
name
precise. So
is-
go ahead and delete the little space. in between.
Exclamation.
Yeah,
And code.
Okay, my
perfect.
Just
So click on the line two.
name.
My name.
Yeah, click
Instead
on,
of-
click to
instead
the
of
right
the
here.
long word, it's
Perfect.
gonna be my
So
name.
go ahead.
Yes.
With parentheses?
Yeah, so it has to be extremely precise. So it has to be like this.
Space between.
No. Follow exactly as I do.
No exclamation, just.
You, so, okay, the stuff in between quotation marks can change. That's fine. It can be whatever you want. But what's important is the stuff outside of the quotation marks.
Okay.
So here, it's exactly as I do, print. And then I think if you put in a left parentheses, it automatically puts in the right parentheses. In between these two parentheses, type in like, my name is Diane, or
So we
whatever.
print out our name.
Yeah, print out a little greeting, my name is, and then your name.
Can I run?
Yeah, you want to, you want to. Perfect.
Okay, and then close print.
And you put a period.
Yeah, I mean, I put a period, you don't need to put a period.
Yeah,
Oh,
Again, what's in between the quotation marks can change.
I put an exclamation.
Yeah, you can put an exclamation mark if you want, you can put a smiley face, whatever you like. Excellent job, Tony, that's perfect.
Okay, but I didn't do the.
Yeah, you need the
it's
purpose.
supposed to be young.
So the,
Exactly, I wanna see that.
yeah,
You
so
see
you put the
that?
beginning one where you're clicking,
I
yeah,
make tons of.
between the T and the
Wow.
K.
Between Colby.
Really?
Oh, it has to be it can't be a squiggly parentheses, it has to be the curvy
Oh, and then I
parentheses.
put run.
But I think it must
That's
be
perfect.
tedious.
Hey, go ahead, you can replace it, so instead of
Very
my name's obviously, put it
Just
in the
because
yellow.
it's outdated.
I mean, unless you're really like.
And run it down.
Yeah,
It's a perk out. You perk out.
Yeah.
That's a square bracket, yeah, I got it.
So this is right.
You put in the curvy one. Yeah, it's really
So the name
specific.
is program mix.
The curvy one.
So
was-
we have, there's three types of parentheses, right? You have like the
Oh,
the
yeah.
curve,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Oh,
square.
I'm sorry.
Yes, the curve, the
Got it.
square,
I
the
was
square.
just-
Yeah.
Basic
Okay.
computer skills.
All good. Perfect. So go ahead. So it looks like everybody has it perfectly. Go ahead and click run and watch your work of art unfold. Beautiful.
It did it.
So go ahead and hit this button here. It says run. And that takes the instructions you wrote here and it does it over here.
Now, the fact that it has to be so specific
Yeah.
is dependent upon the specific program. Are there different programs that?
Okay, so I complained about this last time where my students are like getting ahead of me and should just teach the class themselves. I'm kidding. No, you're doing great. Like, that's exactly correct. So we're, it's all a joke. I'm not mad. So we're using Python. So actually, fun fact. So we're using Python, which is one type of, they're called programming languages.
Okay.
Okay.
Programming languages. So we're using Python. Go ahead and look at the screen real quick. I'm going to demo something. You can also use a programming language like C++. So this actually uses it, again, they're like languages. It uses a different syntax. So instead of print, I put standard cout, my name is Augustine. And I hit run, and I screwed up something. Oh, I didn't put a, yeah, I'm just showing you guys this. See, yeah, this is just a different language. We're not going to be using it.
I think a lot more complicated.
It is a lot more. Computationally, it's faster for the computer.
Oh,
Yeah. So there's like a reward. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. That's what they teach. They teach C++ in college. Like they start you with Python and then they move on to C++ because C++ is like harder, but the computer uses it faster. So it pays off. Anyways, so you guys added another print statement. So here, the stuff on the left is code and the stuff on the right is output. So you typed in a set of instructions, namely you typed in, some code, some print statements, and then it does some stuff on the right. So let me repeat myself. A print statement is literally just print and then parentheses, and then something in between the parentheses. So I could put I'm gonna go ahead and look at my screen. You don't have to follow along. I could put a whole bunch of stuff in these print statements. So I can go ahead, I can say print dog, prints dog. I can print cat, and it prints cat, right? So I don't know why it's green. You can just ignore that. Also, this is interesting. I can print 9. So just the number 9. And look at that. Now, but see, what's interesting is I didn't put this in quotation marks, right? It still works if I do. But the reason this, I'm not going to get into that, but you can print a whole bunch of stuff in here. How about let's try printing 9 times 10. What do you think is going to happen when I do this?
Not gonna do it, because it's not precise.
Good guess, but this is actually syntactically correct. So what do you think is going to happen when I print 9 times 10?
You didn't tell it to calculate.
Well, if you were a computer and I told you print 9 times 10, what would you print out? Yeah, watch this.
wow.
It prints a 90.
Now, how come that's a star and not an X?
Because X is that's a great question. The operators in Python are plus, minus, asterisk, and divide. So that's like,
Oh,
if you use X, it gets confused because the letter X is important.
and that the forward slash
Is it that's divide.
right.
So if I do something like let's do like 80 divided by 5. Watch. Yeah, and it gives me 16. Yeah. So I can make this even more complex. I could do let's do
But you
80.
You really have to understand what the program itself will do.
Yes, exactly. You have to, part of the skill of doing this is looking at your code before you've even done it and predicting what it's going to do. And oftentimes your prediction is wrong. Like most of the time your prediction is wrong and you need to figure out what to do.
And why do we need coding for our day-to-day life?
So you don't need coding for your day-to-day lives, but this is what powers this.
They're teaching
And
children
this.
coding.
What's that?
They're teaching children
That's
coding.
the only money. Yeah.
You think this is children's coding, but this is what I learned in sophomore year of high school. This was like day 1.
Apple Store, they have this whole thing on coding for children.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's like a bunch of different websites that like teach that kind of thing. There's a program called Scratch that MIT developed that is like, it's like this, but like building blocks. So instead of typing it, you like literally take building blocks and stack them on each other. And then depending on how the building blocks are stacked, it'll do something different.
Like Lego?
A lot like Lego. Yeah, just like electronic Lego. Yeah. So here, look, let's do something more simple. Let's do 20 divided by 5 times 12. Okay, so let's think. 20 divided by 5 is what? Yeah, you got it. You're doing it ahead of me. Yeah.
You what?
Yeah, you're right. So 20 divided by 5 is 4, times 12 is 48, because remember, order of operations means we do this first, and then we do this. So, and I can add all sorts of wacky math in here.
So you need the coding for you to have the app?
No, you don't need to know this. I'm just teaching it for fun. And so that it helps you, if only a tiny bit, it helps you understand these things a little bit more. Because this is powered by this, but just like, this on like steroids. All this stuff, computers, phones, I don't know what else to point at here, like the clock, not the clock, but computers and phones are powered by stuff like this. Okay, so let's move on. So those are print statements. We'll skip over this. I added a little, I go to Cornell Tech, you don't need to add that. So now let's look at something called a for loop. So I taught you guys how to use the tool, and I taught you guys about print statements. So remember, a print statement, all it is just, all a print statement is just something in between print parentheses, right? And I could put whatever the hell I want. I could put, random BS, and then run it, and it prints out random BS, Exactly, and you need to, and it needs to be in this order, exactly how I have it. No spaces, you can't capitalize the P. It has to be exactly like this. What's in between the quotation marks can change. That much is okay. But what's important is that it's pretty much like this thing right here, right? Yeah. So that's a print statement, right? Okay. So now let's move on. I'm going to teach you guys. So to kick off this exercise, I want you guys to print hi 3 times. Just like how I have it on the screen. And I'll replicate it on my own. So exactly how I have it here. It doesn't matter. What's in between the quotation marks can change. I just chose the word hi because it's short. But go ahead and print out the word hi 3 times. Yeah, exactly. If you were to type in exactly what I have right here, you're doing it correctly.
Your school was, when you were in high school and elementary, they were like teaching you computers already?
Great question. So in my own experience, when I was in elementary school, they didn't teach us like how to code or how to like use computers, because we kind of learned how to use computers just by using them. Like it's like riding a bike, right? But they did teach us how to type. So they had classes, like when I was like maybe like 7 or 8, I remember they brought me to the library of my school where they had a bunch of computers, and we had to take typing tests. So we had to type in words at a certain speed. So they taught us, like when I was like a little kid, they taught me how to type quickly and accurately. And then when I was in high school, it wasn't required, but it was, if you wanted to, you could take a class on this. So when I was a sophomore in high school, when I was a sophomore in high school, I took 2 classes. I took programming 1 and programming 2. And that class is just teaching you all about Python, which is the language we're using here. So this is like day 1 stuff, but by the end of it, you're writing like 300-line programs, and they do all sorts of fun stuff. And So I'm gonna come around and I'll take a look at your screens. Yeah.
We should run now.
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah.
Just see, I copy and paste.
Sure, that's fine.
But on this side, it can put them.
Yeah, that's fine. This looks normal. Yeah.
Just to what this was. I didn't have to paste and copy this.
No, yeah. So you approached it a smart way.
When I press that,
Yeah.
the 3 I can at the same time.
Perfect.
That's all, right?
Yeah, you did it right. so then, but then type it in 3 times. So if you want, you can just copy and paste it 3 times. But to prove, I'm proving a point to you guys. So type it in 3 times.
I
That
can
was
get,
right. Yeah,
I can get how to get from here to there. Oh,
enter.
all right.
Remember, hit the enter key, adds a new line.
So you do the same thing 3 times?
So go ahead, print hide. So you just want to repeat exactly how you had it. Yeah. So.
Done.
Boy, do you
I-
have-
Send her to the end.
You have such patience.
All right. Now what? After you do that 3 times?
So after you do it 3 times, go ahead and run.
It's funny because it seems like coding just came out of the left field and we never heard about it and now it's seven. Everybody's talking about coding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know, when I first got my iPhone and I went to the Apple store, you know, for instruction, they had coding programs. all over the
Already.
place.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go. Get them flipped around.
So
That's
it's,
good.
it's gonna be like math, geography, coding.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, like in regular.
Yeah, industry's changing. Some fun fact, in the early 2000s, the top, I think like the most valued stocks belong to like Johnson and Johnson and like other like domestic products, you know, like you know, companies that produce like shampoo and stuff like that. Okay, who has the most expensive stocks now? Does anyone know?
Microsoft.
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 Yeah.
Who else?
Apple.
Apple.
Apple, yeah, so technical.
Yes, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon,
Mhm.
Google, or Alphabet, really.
Yeah.
Those are the most expensive ones. So notice how in the early 2000s we had like Johnson & Johnson and other companies like that were the most most evaluated stocks. Now it's all just big tech.
But they had a lot of times when the computers that gone, you know, down.
Yeah, like in the 2000s, the internet was still like a baby.
Right,
Yeah, at least culturally.
right.
Yeah.
It's mature.
It has matured in some kind of scary ways. It's like a rebellious teenager. So go ahead now. Let me ask you guys this: when you were in school, like in elementary, middle school, high school, whatever,
Oh my God.
and you did something stupid, did your teacher ever make you write one thing 100 times?
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents made me do that a few times, right?
Yeah.
Like I like didn't clean my room, and then my mom handed me a sheet of paper and a pen. I was like, all right, I will clean my room 100 times. And then I would figure out really clever ways to do it really quickly. So I put like, I would like write I, and then will. But I would, yeah. But why? Okay, so let me ask you this: why did your parents make you do that?
Practice makes
To
perfect.
remember.
To remember it, but
Yeah.
okay, but it's a punishment, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's a punishment. Why is it a punishment?
It hurts.
It hurts. Your hand gets tired, and it's tedious and boring, and you're not like you're a little kid, so you can't concentrate anyways. So your parents are asking you to like sit at a desk and write this thing 100 times. Your little kid brain's gonna be like, I want to go play outside. Doesn't care. Yeah. But the main point is that it's tedious, right?
Mhm.
I had you guys do this exercise because it's tedious.
Uh-huh.
Printing high 3 times is redundant.
Yeah.
There's got to be a better way to do this. Think about like a program that blinks a light 100,000 times. Okay. Do you think the programmer is going to type light blink 100,000 times in a set of instructions? No, he's not going to physically, or he or she or they are not going to physically write out light blink 100,000 times. There's got to be a better way to do it, right?
Right.
Okay, so that is where we get to for loops.
Okay.
So now I'm going to show you guys how to do this. Instead of print high, you can backspace your print highs. Okay, instead of doing that, go ahead and type again exactly to a T as I do. We do for I in range and then parentheses 3, end parentheses, colon. So that's the first line. So I'm going to have you guys type in this first line and then don't hit run yet.
What is it?
So it's going to be
Oh, thank you.
That's not so bad.
a to a T, exactly like this.
Okay. Now where's that little triangle come from?
Which triangle?
Bottom one.
Oh, that's it. I'll show you in a second where it comes from. But go ahead and type in, don't worry about the triangle.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not doing anything. But type in exactly as I do. Everything, like including capitalization, parentheses, colon, exactly, space, exactly like I do. If you do exactly like I do, it will work. So I'm gonna come around and I'll take a look at your computers. So make sure there's no space in between range and the parentheses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, and then a colon at the end. Excellent. One thing, for and I need to be separated. There's to be a space in between for and the word and I. Yeah, you get it. Excellent. Yeah. Okay. So all of you guys should have this on your screens. For I in range 3. Do not run it because it will break. So yes, it will break. Now that's not because you did it wrong, but actually I can show you. I'll show you it breaking. So let's say I hit run. Okay. So this is all I have, right? For I in range 3. And it says unexpected end of file while parsing. Now I'm going to translate that into English. What that means is it expects me to put something underneath. So it expects me to put something underneath this line. So the for loop, can anybody guess what the for loop does?
Just keep going and going and going.
It does, it loops. It does a thing a few times, or a million times, or even a billion times. In our case, it does a thing 3 times. So what do you guys think I'm going to type here?
1.
Hi.
Exactly.
Ah, I see.
I put in print high. So look, instead of me typing out print high, print high, print high,
You created another line under it.
For I in range 3, if you want the 6 times, you put 6.
again, yeah, perfect. So watch, if I hit run here, it prints out 3 highs.
Then how can you have those spaces there?
Excellent question. So, I'll answer, yeah.
Let's see if I.
Yeah.
Ali is high because you said earlier that he didn't understand the upper letter.
Well, actually, do you mean this I here? So that I actually could be anything. I had you guys type in I because it's really simple. And it's also like, it's kind of like a convention, but watch, it still does the same thing. You can put I, X, and whatever. So actually, fun fact, typically when you make a for loop, if a programmer makes a for loop, they'll typically name it I, or they'll name the variable here I, because I stands for iterator, iterate, right? So you iterate over something multiple times. That's what I stands for. You could also name it, count. You can name it, I don't know, number, I, whatever.
This is so strange. I'm on the train and they have this commercial and it says Guru, something, right? And they're doing all this stuff like PDFs and.
Yeah.
I can't believe that I'm learning this now.
Yeah, you are. I'm glad. So for I in range 3 is gonna do this thing 3 times. So before I'm gonna explain why you need the space. But the way you get this space is if you have this line here and you hit enter, it's gonna automatically put a space. So notice, I hit enter and it automatically put this space here.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna do it one more time so you can see. Look, so here's the line. I hit enter and notice it starts the cursor over here.
Right.
It puts some space here.
Okay.
Like it indents.
That's exactly the right word, indent. You need to indent. So everybody go ahead and type what I have here. So we're gonna do for I in range 3, and then hit enter and put print high. And you'll need a tab or an indentation. So I'll come around and I'll take a look.
Sorry, I went ahead and.
That's more than fine. Make sure there's no space in between print and the parentheses. No, that space is important. I mean, here in between. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Perfect.
I screwed up, I tried to get to the other line and I deleted that.
Oh, here. So you can just go down and then backspace. Oh, wait, here. It might be. And then put a, yeah, send, I'll let you do the rest. You gotta add a colon. And then hit enter. And then type in print high, exactly where it is.
Oh, I see, it goes right under the thing.
Yeah. So once you have that down, go ahead and hit run, if you haven't already. Cool.
Yeah.
So what happens?
Repeat it 3 times.
Yeah, okay. Now, what do you think is gonna happen if I change this 3 to a 10?
Oh, 10 something.
Then high.
Okay, cool, 10 highs. Hi, now I sound like a little kid. Hi. Yeah, cool. Now, someone asked why there is this space, right?
Mhm.
Let me show you why there's this space. You don't need to follow along, but let me show you why the space exists. So one question I want you guys to ask yourselves is, how does it know what code to repeat? How does it know that? And I'm not asking you to answer it yet, but no, it knows to do this 3 times, right?
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
but what about if I put like over here, I say print, my name is Augustine. Do you think it's gonna print this 3 times or no? Why?
But it's not right as me.
It's not good for.
It's not at that level of indentation. So I hit run, hi, my name is Augustine. Watch this, if I put a tab here, now what do you think is gonna happen?
Yeah.
What do you think, can someone tell me exactly what it's gonna print out?
It's me.
Yes.
My name is always saying 3 times because it's underneath.
Hi, my name is.
instruction.
It's exactly,
It's gonna say hi.
It's in the section where that instruction.
Yeah.
Is applicable.
It's gonna be 2 guys and then like.
no. So it's not gonna go hi, my name is Augustine, my name is Augustine, my name is Augustine. It'll go, hi, my name is Augustine, hi, my name is Augustine,
One
hi, my name is
line.
Augustine. Yes, 1 line each. So watch, if I hit run,
Yeah, one line.
exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
What if you want the quotation marks?
But if you want,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do that?
that's a really good question. So this is a special case. If you wanna print out a quotation mark,
Mhm.
you don't need to follow along. You put in a backslash and then a quotation mark.
Oh.
So there are certain characters, if you want to type them, you need to put a backslash before them. Quotation is one of them. So see, if I want to print out a double quote like that, I need to put that. I can also just put in a single quote and it'll work on its own. But let me show you another example. We have, see, backslash, quotes, puts in quotes. There's also special characters. There's a lot of rules, yeah. This is just learned from practice. Watch this, if I put in backslash n, this stands for new line. So look what happens. New line, watch what happens. See, it looks a little goofy, right? It says, hi, my name is, and then Augustine. Hi, my name is, and then Augustine. Hi, I don't know why it puts this there, but see, it gets to is, right?
Mhm.
And then it sees there's a new line, and then it puts my name underneath.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's some special characters you can type in. Anyways, the way you can almost draw like an imaginary, like there's like a box, right? If I add a bunch of more instructions, like I say like print 3, or I say, let's say I print hello, blah, 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 blah. And then down here I print stop.
Oh.
So
But you don't have the.
I don't have the parentheses around 3. Numbers are a special exception. You can print out numbers on their own. I can't do this. That is not allowed. that will break. Because there's a few complicated reasons behind that, but to put it short, numbers are a special case. You can put them on their own without the quotation marks. But I think you guys have kind of figured out how it's figuring out what to repeat. There's like an imaginary box, right? There's like a box like right here. Right? And it knows where the box is because of this indentation. As soon as I stop the indentation, it's gonna think this is out of the scope. That's the technical word. This line here is out of the scope of the for loop. The for loop doesn't care about line 6. Okay. So just to show you what I mean, I'll go ahead and I'll hit run. Hi, my name is Augustine 3. Hi, my name is Augustine, blah, 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 and then stop. It only does stop once because stop is outside of the scope of the for loop. Yeah.
If I'm on my cell phone and I'm typing something, it's gonna give me options for the next word.
Yeah.
Is that from this looping thing?
That's a great question. So
In other words, I was typing and I'm typing in holidays, that part of, and it fills in and brings you the thing. So it's already
yeah.
looped.
So
Whoever wrote this.
so the code there is actually very complicated.
But
Believe it or
it
not.
was coded that way, so now I'm understanding when you do things, how it all kind of happens.
Exactly. Yeah. So fun fact about that, if you're on your phone and you type in have a nice,
Yeah.
what do you think it's gonna suggest?
Day.
Day.
Right.
You type in have a nice day, or you type in have a nice, your phone will say, oh, you want to say day, right? And you can tap day and it just puts day. That's actually really complicated. The brain behind that particular feature is kind of complex.
So it's another.
It involves a lot of code, but it involves a few of these.
It is incredible that.
Yeah.
That when you start.
It's actually, you can tell it's really,
But I'm thinking.
yeah, see, it's cool.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hi, instead of doing like, my mom punishing me at the age of 6, we just put in a for loop and then we can do it as many times as we want. I can do it 100 times. It gives me 100 individual highs.
Wow.
See? Now,
When you do Google,
yeah,
like also they give you, when you search for something, you write and they already complete
yeah.
the sentence for you.
Mhm.
Like shocking.
yeah. And the thing about it, when Google then shows you all the results, it has a list of those results. And it's gonna say for every thing in the list, print out the thing. So it's not like they say print out search result 1, print out search result 2, print out search result 3. They're just gonna put in. I'll show you an example of this. Again, you don't need to follow along. And I'm gonna show you something that I wasn't planning on showing you, but let's make this list, okay? We'll name the list LS, which stands for list. And in between the square brackets here. Hi, what's that?
Is it passing session?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So I can join?
Yeah, if you want, yeah. So let's make this list here. I'm gonna put in 3 things. I'll put in, I don't know, I'll put in the name of our student. Put in Augustine, Diane, Tony, Sandra, Jan. Is that with 1 N or 2 N's? 1 N? 1 N? Okay, cool. Watch this. What's your name?
My last name is Khan, K-H-A-N.
K-H-A-N? Okay, so then
First name is Tahira, you can put it T.
a T?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
T Khan.
Okay, so here. So we have this list here of all the people in the class, right? Now watch this. Now, one thing I could do, if I wanted to print out everybody in the class, I could sit here and I could type print, I could print Augustine, and then I could go print Diane, and then I could go and print Tony, blah, 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 blah.
Can I sit there?
You should, if you can, try to sit in front of a,
Oh, okay.
there should be one in the back below, in the back
Over
row.
there at the back,
Yeah.
too far away.
If you wanna, basically, if you want to just watch, that's okay. You can sit wherever you like. But if you want to, this is like a hands-on lesson. So if you want to like participate, then there's some computers in the back. Okay, so there's some computers in the back. So watch this. A little funny trick. You guys don't have to follow along. If I do print, okay, watch this. For name in, actually, you know, a better name for this would be class, right? Or let's say literacy class. So these are all the people in literacy class, right? So for name in literacy class, print name. And watch this.
It's gonna print your name,
Oh.
but it's,
How did
it
you
print
do?
name, but it didn't say print name.
Whose name?
All of our names.
Um,
All of our names. So see, okay,
Oh, names.
Right.
yeah, so this is like,
Well,
yeah. So this is actually, I'm gonna make
and how
the,
come you need the, quotation mark?
Indent.
so you guys are asking the right questions. I'm doing my job right. So I'm gonna make the list a little more clear, right? So this is a list of all the people in the class, right? So here I said for, right? I used the for loop in a different way. I actually didn't use range here, and that's fine. Instead, I just referred to the name of this list here. So think about it. If you look at it without like thinking about the syntax, this does make sense. For every name in the list of people in the class, print the name. Now, Tony asked an excellent question. Why don't I need quotation marks? And just to show you, it works. Right? So it's really funny you would ask that because the next part of the presentation is variables, which is what you guys like. I swear, like I'm making my session, and like one of you is like in the window watching me type, so that once you get to class,
Nobody fucking type fast.
yeah, okay, my bad. Like one of you guys are like bugged my room or something. Yeah,
Now, in that list,
I'm gonna put this on.
you didn't say names, you said name,
yeah,
and you printed all of them.
Yeah.
Had you said name with the list, would it have done, if you put names, would it do it?
So let's try this out. If I put for names in literacy class, print name, what do you think will happen? Just guess. I haven't told you.
The same thing will happen, it will do it.
And what do you have a question mark as to what name?
So I made. Okay, wait. Yeah. Okay, watch this. Watch. I'm gonna put, I don't know, random thing, QWERTY, print QWERTY. For blah, 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 blah. Okay, hold on. For blah 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 in blah blah blah. Hold on. For random BS in random BS, it still does the same. All that matters is these two terms are the same.
Okay.
So watch this. If I do names in name, what do you think is gonna happen?
I'll give you one name. a
Good
question
guess.
mark, Question mark.
It'll
or name.
probably do both.
It-
It'll work with both.
Okay, let's try this. It gives me an error.
Oh.
Why do you think it broke?
You mentioned first, everything has to be exactly the same.
What is it that's not exactly the same here?
Yeah,
And-
Names versus name. They're not exactly the same.
But if you had.
Oh, so you can put the S in there and you're done.
yeah.
Okay, so it gave you all names with the S and without the S.
Yeah. All that matters is there's a variable that goes here.
Okay, so it has a rule.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Vivian, did you have a question?
Well, I was wondering if you understood that Augustine, Diane, and so on were names.
Oh, no, it doesn't know that.
Right?
It doesn't know that. I haven't told it that. Now, did you turn on your computer? No? So go ahead and turn on your computer. Here, I got you. It's hard to see one.
This is really.
It's here. It's like here.
But you see, the computer only understands if you put exactly.
Let's see if that works.
Yeah, but it was interesting. I thought it would only
No,
be one
it's
name.
just
I
like
didn't think it would print all of them.
I think
If you're being that
Let's
specific,
see.
Right,
right? And yet it did it.
right. Well, I guess it knows what it knows. And it knows names,
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the rules.
and as long as they're the same.
So what we should do, if you
can actually say that you know.
I didn't know we praised the, whatever you say.
I am always here Monday and Wednesday. I don't have a schedule of what I'm teaching, but as long as if you just show up Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 1:30. So on Monday, I'm gonna teach how to use technology, so like Zoom tutorials, stuff like that. On Wednesdays, I teach more fun stuff like this.
Don't do this and grab this will have to finish it. So this is the same thing.
We finished
So
the
if
class at
you
three.
finish the course,
Oh, we started at
we're
1:30.
brushing the surface.
There you
which
go.
is
And then one last thing.
He has a meeting.
So what you're gonna do is, so this is like the playground we're messing with, right? So I'm gonna tell you what to type in here, and then you hit run, and it will do stuff. So just follow along with that. I'm doing.
When I have to learn different programs at work, they gave us a book with all these things that said, these are the variables.
Yeah, blah, variables,
Exactly.
jargon and all that good stuff, yeah. But see, it's actually not that scary, right?
No, it's
No.
not scary, it's just that it's new.
Yeah, right.
So when you do a web page, you use that?
Great question. When you do a web page, yes, there's actually different things that feed into a web page. So have any of you ever heard of HTML?
Yes.
Yes, it's a language. So HTML, I'm going to show you guys actually. So every single website, let's go to like Wikipedia. Okay, watch this. I'm going to go to the Wikipedia article. I don't know. Give me an article. What do you guys want to look at? Roosevelt Island. Okay, cool. So we're on the Wikipedia page for Roosevelt Island, and it has a lot of stuff on it, right? All this text and links and pictures and a logo, and it just scrolls and scrolls and scrolls. Really long, right? Okay. This is like the pretty presentable part of it, right? But under the hood, check out all of the instructions that go into making this website. So it's kind of small to see here. Let me see if I can zoom in. Okay. So take a look at this. So I'm gonna go ahead. You're gonna see how insane this is. Look how long the code is. So here. So this is HTML. HTML is basically a set of it's a lot like this. It's a set of instructions. HTML isn't as complex as something like Python, but still, look, it just goes on and 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 on. So this is like under the hood of the car, right? You know, so all this good stuff. And fun fact, I can actually, and then it gets really ugly, right? Fun fact, I can actually change values here. So see how it says Roosevelt Island at the top of the page? Watch this. I'm gonna type in Augustine is the best and he's really cool. And look at that. Look at the website. Augustine is the best and he's really cool. Now,
You actually altered the website.
now I didn't do this globally. So if you access this website right now, it'll look completely normal. I just changed it on my computer. So fun fact, don't tell my mom this, but in high school, she would ask to see my grades because she knew I wasn't that good at math. So I would show her the website with my grades on it. And then my math grade would be a C. So I would do this and I would change it to a B+. And then she'd be like, oh my God, you're doing great. And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing great. It wasn't so if she went to her computer and she looked at my grades, she would have seen a C. So I would always insist on showing her on my computer. Yeah, so I refreshed the page, Roosevelt Island, right? But yeah, see this stuff powers everything.
But if you really wanted to add yourself in a network, would you be able to?
I would be, well, actually, Wikipedia is a fun exception. The crux of Wikipedia is that anyone can edit it,
Right.
which is actually in practice has been a good thing, but that also means people vandalize it all the time. Yeah.
They do, I can never do this. What is variable?
So a variable is a Well,
changes.
can someone tell me what a variable is in math? Tony said change. So actually, that's a great question. That leads me into the next part of the presentation. So variables. So the first thing we're gonna do, I want you guys to first type in exactly like I do here. So name. So I'm gonna delete all my stuff here. So go ahead and type in your name. We're gonna say name equals and then something.
We delete everything? Yeah, we delete.
You don't have to delete
You
everything.
just make a new line.
Yeah, you just make a new line. But you need to type in, do what I do here, except instead of Augustine, put in, whatever your name is. Yeah. So remember, to a T, it has to be exactly like I have it here.
So what program you are in, when you're putting this name, which,
Oh, so this is on the left here. So on your computer, there's this part on the left, right? And then there's this part on the right. So you want to type in on the left. So I'm just zooming in, and when I zoom in, it like makes it look a little different. But on the left side of the screen, go ahead and type in name equals and then your name in quotation marks. I'm gonna come around and I'm gonna take a look. See if, yeah.
I didn't think to type the second quotation.
Yeah, it will put the second one automatically.
Yeah.
It's like a convenience thing.
Right.
Yeah. Not all like environments do that. That's not like a feature of Python, that's a feature of the website, and not all environments will do that, but this one's being polite and will do that for you.
Mhm.
Yeah, so actually, and if you're still in the for loop, backspace out of the for loop. So get rid of indentation. So what I mean by that is, if your program looks something like this. So if your program looks something like this, or hold on a second. Yeah, so if this is kind of what your program looks like, backspace before the name.
Okay.
So put name at the leftmost level of indentation.
Now how you do that? You just press it.
Yeah, so you wanna put your cursor right before the word name, and then just backspace. Yeah. It takes it out of the for loop, because we don't want this to be in the for loop.
Now you did it in one click and I'm doing it in four. How come?
Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's four. It can be fickle. Yeah.
Does it make any difference to the type of computer? Because I have happened at home, so.
No, it wouldn't make a difference.
It's slightly different to me when I'm trying to.
Yeah, this kind of thing would be the same. If you did this on I'm on a Mac, actually, right now. I'm on an Apple computer and they're on PCs, but it looks exactly the same.
So
Yeah.
these are PCs.
Yeah, this is Windows. Those are Windows, and this is an Apple computer.
Yeah, that's one.
You have something like this?
That's one.
Yeah. I have a MacBook Air, so yeah. So I'll come around and take a look at
So
your
the
screen.
screenshots run now.
I'll get to that in a second. That's perfect. Perfect.
Using Firefox.
Make sure to backspace out of the folder. You have to make sure name should be all the way on the left. Oh, here we go. Right. Enter, and then I have to also add a quotation. Okay, that's good. Okay. Does everybody? So everybody should have something like this, right? Name equals whatever. Okay. Now try running it. And what happens? Nothing. Let me show you on my computer.
Because we didn't say print.
Excellent. We didn't say print. So look, I said name equals Augustine. If I run it, no, I didn't give it a command.
Okay.
So then what is a variable then?
The command.
Not quite.
Part of it.
So yes, part of the command. So look, you make in Python, this is how you create a variable. You give a name to the variable. In our case, we're literally naming it name. We say variable equals something. So I could say name equals Augustine. Here's another one I can do. X equals 3. So if I'm doing math stuff, I could say x equals 3, y equals 2, z equals 10, whatever, But here I'm saying name equals Augustine, right? So both of these that I have on the screen are proper ways to define a variable. Variable equals something. The equal sign is what tells it you're making a variable. Yeah.
On the number 2, if I put run on that number 2, I'm not telling it to print, it won't print it. Or will it print it and give me the answer?
It won't do anything. So
It won't do anything also because I'm not telling it.
I'm not doing anything. I am doing something. I'm not asking it to print anything. I am assigning these variables. So what does a variable actually do? So we run it, nothing new appears, right? So a variable is like a box. Okay. So what do I mean by that? So I have this box called name. And in the box, I put Augustine. And in your box, you put Tony. In your box, you put Sandra, right? So I can put something in my box, right? This is my name box. It has Augustine in it. You put it on the shelf. I can save it for later. So now later, if I want to reference Augustine, I just grab it off the shelf. So why is that important? Or how does that help? So what a variable does is it's something that can change over time. So I can reassign something to it. So instead of it being, let's go back. So instead of it being Augustine, maybe I'll have it be my full name. I'll say Augustine Gregory Ferreira, right? Maybe I'll just change it. I'll be my brother. I'll be Max, okay? A variable can change. Now, why that's important is usually because of math. So let me show you what I mean. If we go back, and you don't have to follow along here, but let's say, for example, we have a list of dogs. We have a bunch of dogs at a dog kennel, right? So these dogs are named, I don't know, we have like Jerry, Tim. These are weird dog names. Cooper, I feel like it's a good dog. Does anyone have a dog?
Oreo.
Oreo? Okay, Oreo. Okay, we have some dogs, right? So let's say we want to count how many dogs are in. So here's one method we can use to count how many dogs we have in our list. So let's say for dog in dogs. Oh, hold on. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a variable called count. We'll set it equal to 0, okay? So this is a variable. So we've made the box and there is a 0 in it. Okay, so then for dog in dogs, count is equal to count plus 1. And then I print count. So can anybody predict what's going to happen here? What do you think is going to be printed at the end?
The name.
Not the names. What's that?
One name only?
No, not one name.
I think zero.
It's going to give you the
Zero.
number, but not the names,
Yes. What number will it give us?
the calculated number.
So what's the calculated number?
Zero.
Not 0.
No.
No. 4. Yes. So let's look at this. How do we
I
get?
didn't know what to do that.
It gives us a 4.
But why?
That's a great question. So let's take a look. We have 4 dogs in here, right?
Right.
Jerry, Tim, Cooper, and Oreo, right? We make this variable called count. Okay. Count, all it is the box. It's a storage unit. And we're messing with what's in the box. So look, for dog in dogs. So we know we're using a for loop, which means we're going to do something a few times, right? So that we're going to do this something for every dog in the list, which is to say, we do this 4 times. So if I print,
How come you do 5? You got plus 1.
Yeah, I suppose you did that.
that's a good question. It would break
It would break.
because your list is, you have 4 dogs. If you try to look at 5 dogs in a list with only 4 dogs in it, it'll break.
But
'cause-
if it printed, if you put 4, would it print all 4?
Yeah.
Would it break?
It would print off 4. Now let me explain. I put this print high here so you can see how many times it runs. See, there's 4 highs here. So that is proof that this set of instructions here
We'll go
it goes 4 times, right? I could also even print the name of the dog. Let's try printing out dog, right? Okay. So we're looking at Jerry, Tim, Cooper, and Oreo, right? So for each of these dogs, we're doing something. Now, what is it that we're doing? So we're taking count, and then we're setting it equal to whatever it is right now, plus 1. So let's think about this. My box, right? So I have my count box, right? It starts at 0. Then on line 11, count is equal to whatever's in the box plus 1.
Because
So-
it counts to 0.
And then it adds a 1.
Right, okay, that's
So-
what you have to do, okay.
See, okay, so
So
here,
it starts at 1 instead of starting at 0.
exactly. So then, okay, so let's figure this out. So the first time, when we're at Jerry, the first time we hit this line, count equals count plus 1. Count is 0. So I'm gonna just put something new in my box. So I look inside, I see there's a 0. So what's 0 plus 1? 1.
Right,
Okay, so I'm gonna throw a 1 in the box.
okay.
So now there's a 1 in here. Okay, so now I have a 1 in the box. Then we get to Tim. We get back to this line here, count equals count plus 1. So what's in the box? A 1.
Yeah.
So I look inside, I find a 1. What's 1 plus 1? 2. Okay. Count plus 1. 1 plus 1. So 1 plus 1 equals 2. I put a 2 in the box. So now there's a 2 in this box. We get to Cooper. So now we have a 2. So we get a 2 plus 1 gives us 3. We take a 3 then and put it in the box. Then we get to Oreo. So we have a 3 plus 1 equals 4. So we grab the 4, put it in the box. There's no more dogs left. So now the box has a 4 in it.
Right.
Then we get all the way down to line 13. Print what's in the box. 4. So now it prints a 4. Cool. So watch. This is actually very adaptive. If I add another dog here, Sam, Jerry, Tim, Cooper, Oreo, Sam, it prints a 5
It just did it automatically.
automatically. I didn't have to change anything.
Did you bring the name, Sam?
Yeah, I did.
The day before.
So see on line 11 here, it's just printing the name of the dog. So it prints out Sam. What's cool is if you're watching carefully, you can see how I'm adding these levels of automation. If I had done this with more like, we'll say amateur methods, I would have to change a lot of stuff every time I add a new dog to the list. But I made my code in a way so that if I just throw a new dog in here, the whole program changes automatically. Yeah,
You did not tell it to stop
no,
after the first, that's why it continued. If you had backspaced it and gone to the next line, it would have broken it. And if you had, in other words, it's continuing because you gave it no order to say stop.
yeah. Well, a for loop is very smart and it will do exactly as it's told. For like, so here for
How far down, I mean, in other words, but I guess I'm asking, when would it stop?
as soon as it's done with the list. So here for
How
dog,
would you know the list is, how would you know the list is finished?
Python's gonna look in the list, it's gonna see there's 5 things in it,
Oh, it's
and then it will do the thing 5 times. Yeah, that's a good question. So Jerry, Tim, Oreo, or Jerry, Tim, Cooper, Oreo, Sam, Denny, is that a new dog? 6. See, I can add another dog, like Kenny, King, sure.
That's my son's dog.
Okay, King. Did someone say Klaus?
Klaus,
Klaus?
that's German Shepherd.
That's a good, it was, yeah, Klaus with a K. Yeah, Klaus. See, this number keeps increasing.
That's my dog.
That awesome, cool. That's a really good name for a German Shepherd, like Klaus, or like Hans or something.
Some dog.
It's a good dog. Yeah, cool. But see, all I did was add new dogs. I didn't have to actually change any of the logic down here.
now.
Yeah,
on the next line, you don't add a name of a dog, you put a number. You're breaking
That's a great question. Let's put in a number. Let's put in 54. It works.
it worked. Why did it work?
Pretty much.
Why did it work?
So that's a great question. It's not considering it explicitly as a name. It's more broad than that. It's considering it as a thing.
Okay.
It's a thing. Python doesn't know these are names.
Right.
It just knows they're things in a list.
So why, how does it come to 54?
I just put that, that's just a number I chose, yeah. Okay, I put in 54.
So it's random.
I'll put in another, I'll put in like 38 million or whatever that is. It works. Now, I can break this. I can break this. Watch this. What if I try to do something like, let's try to do something like this. Let's make a new program, okay? Actually, I'm not gonna make an entire new program for thing in ls. Okay, I'll show you what I'm gonna do. So let me show you, I'm gonna change this program a little bit. So let's have this list of numbers, okay? So I have, okay. So I have a list of numbers, 54, 30, 3 to 38 billion, I don't know what that is. Whatever, add more numbers, blah, blah, blah. I have to put commas after each, that's a rule. And what if I throw in a dog? Actually, we'll throw in Klaus. Okay, and then we'll throw in Oreo. What if I throw in the dogs? Now, if I just print the thing, it works. It's fine with that. We'll get rid of the count, actually. I'm gonna focus on this problem. So if I just print the thing in the list, it works. It works totally fine. It's looking at the list, it's seeing a bag of things, a bunch of numbers and 2 dogs. So every time it's just gonna print the thing. It's fine with that. Okay, now let's make this weirder. We expect this to be a list of numbers, but somehow these dogs have snuck their way in there, right? We don't know how. So as the programmer, we're gonna do some math because we expect this to be a list of numbers. Let's just print num times 3. So let's think about this. I'm the programmer. I expect the list to have a bunch of numbers in it. So I expect num times 3 should work every single time. So if I run it, oh no, I just got proven wrong. Okay, let's do num divided by 3, that should break. Yep, okay. So let's look what happens. Num divided by 3. 54 divided by 3 is 18. This disgusting abomination divided by 3 is this disgusting abomination, right?
Wow.
This divided by 3 is this, you know, this divided by 3 is this divided by 3 is 15, 45 divided by 15 is 3. What is Klaus divided by 3?
So it actually eliminated it because it was not a number.
It did, no, it actually didn't even eliminate it, it broke.
Right.
This is an error.
Right.
Unsupported operand types for divide, string and int, which is basically Python saying, bro, you're trying to divide like a thing, like you're trying to divide the name of something by 3. That doesn't make sense. What's like dog divided by 7? That's like a question you ask after too much, like a really, really long night drinking. You're like, oh, what's dog divided by 7? Like that doesn't make any sense. Python's gonna break. But anyways, variables then are important for holding stuff. They can keep track of stuff over time. You can use them to count things. You can use them for really complicated math. Let's see. Since we are like over by a bit, I could keep going. If you want to leave, you're totally welcome to leave. I have another section if you want to stay. Cool. So we look at this.
So, you are really teaching programming then?
Coding.
I guess I am. I don't normally do this. This is just like a fun one-day thing. Yeah.
Then when you put it on the computer, is it gonna be edited or is it just gonna be just like it happened in class?
It's just like it happened in class.
Oh.
Yeah, it's all good. So, okay, let's try something different, all right? So I'm gonna say, you guys have this in your computers. You have name equals and then your name, right? So you still have that. So let's think about this. Someone give me a predictor. What do you think is gonna happen when I do this? Oh wait, hold on, I need to plug in my computer. Because if it died right now, that would be really bad. Give me a second. Does anybody have any questions, by the way, while I'm doing this?
I haven't been doing thinking like this in a long time.
Oh, it's fun though, isn't it? I mean,
Well, it makes me
Yeah,
think
it's
my
fun.
more on.
yeah, right?
Especially that you're not doing that for work.
Oh, yeah,
Doing for fun.
if you're doing it for fun, it is fun. That's very
Makes me
true.
want to go to the Apple store and take a coding course.
Yeah, you could. There's even, I could even point you guys to like a fun online tutorial you can do. Yeah, okay. All right, thank God. Okay, my computer's good. Anyways, what do you think is gonna happen when I do this? Okay,
My name, hello, my name, hi, my name is Agustin.
yes.
That's what we did.
Why do you think? You're correct. Why do you think that?
But
Because,
it's specific.
Yeah.
because. I'm not sure.
That's fine, but you got it right. Yeah,
Because the command was print name, and then you gave it a name.
It should be that, it should be, underneath,
no,
to go to the right,
the way I wrote it is exactly correct.
and it should know that.
It
So
should,
if you-
it's gonna work.
If you run that, what will it do? It will give you Augustine.
Yeah.
Watch this.
And
So Python is a special language.
so it took 2 lines
And it did what? What? Okay, let me ask you this. What symbol is that?
Plus, add,
so
Yeah.
it added whatever.
whatever
So-
the name is, it adds.
Python is a very special language because it has a lot of cool shortcuts like this.
So the inverted commas, those, they are the ones that it goes for the run.
Say that again?
I don't know.
Oh, that's okay. So Python is a special language because you have cool features like this. So plus, think about this.
Equal.
Yeah, you have plus, you have equals, divide, all that good stuff. But so normally you would think of plus as being used for like 9 plus 3, right? Or 2 plus 4. Okay. But you can actually do plus with sentences or words. If you're adding 2 words together, it's the proper term is concatenation. Concatenation. I'll type it out here. So the proper word is concatenation is the name of what I'm doing here. But what this does is it takes hi, my name is. So that's one, they're called strings. Strings are just things in quotation. So it takes hi, my name is, and then it adds my name. It literally just slaps my name at the end of it. See, and that's done with this plus sign.
Okay, but if you didn't put plus name, it wouldn't.
No, if I did, let's try if I did like this.
Yeah.
Let's try just doing hi, my name is. See? Yeah. So watch this. If I put hi, my name is plus name, hi, my name is Augustine. Now watch this. It's very, very literal. You see how I added this extra space here?
Mhm.
Watch, if I get rid of that space, hi, my name is Augustine. It has no space here. It's extremely literal. So it took hi, my name is, and Augustine, and stuck them together, and now I just have one long thing. Yeah.
If you put plus, hi, my name is plus Augustine. Would not.
No, that could work too. Let's try
Or
that.
you put a
Instead of name.
number. You put a number.
We'll get to that. Let's try this first though. Hi, my name is plus Augustine. It works. Yeah.
You can put equal, obviously,
What's that?
I said you can't use equal, obviously.
You can. So that's what I'm doing here.
Oh.
Yeah, so you have name equals Augustine. So then here, if I say, hi, my name is plus name, then it's like, okay, well, we have hi, my name is, but then we need to figure out what name is. And we see what name is on line 1. And that's perfect. That's actually another thing variables do is it lets you store stuff that's really long or complicated So that instead of typing in this really long, complicated thing every single time, you just type in the name of a variable. Let me show you an example. So if I open up let's open up the Roosevelt Island thing again. I'm gonna just take the beginning paragraph of this. So one thing I can do, and you don't need, I'm not asking you to follow along, but one thing you can do is you can literally just type in the whole thing, right? Roosevelt Island is a narrow island, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So one thing I could do is literally just type in the entire thing. But what that means is if later on I want to do this again, then I'd have to go later on in the program, I'd have to type out the entire thing again. Like I'd have to then,
3 quotation marks will give you that whole paragraph?
3 quotation marks is a special case for things that have multiple lines.
So do you save it or what?
So that's exactly what you do. So see, instead of, because this is just ugly to look at, like I don't want to type in this a whole paragraph every time I'm coding. Instead, how about, let's take this whole thing, right? All of this text, and instead, let's assign it. Let's call it summer. I don't know, what do we call it? Like Roosevelt summary. Watch this. Then later on, so this is what I've done here is I've stored it in a box, right? And later on, if I want to print out a summary of Roosevelt Island, I just say Roosevelt summary. See, and it works exactly the same. But what's good about this is that because I put it in this neat little box, then if I want to use it later, instead of typing in all of this stuff, I just grab the neat little box off the shelf and put it in the print statement instead.
Wow.
So the variable is just, it's another thing you can do is store things in a nicer, more manageable storage unit.
So this is the same as like online what you get, which are already done, and this is the way it was done.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's like a nice shortcut to use it. You get good at it over time. Yeah, so that's variables. Now you also asked, what if I did hi, my name is, and then a number? So let's try it out. Let's try hi, my name is +6. What do you think is gonna happen?
You gotta change the name up there.
No, that has nothing to do with it. In fact, I can get rid of that line. Let's concentrate on this. What do you think is gonna happen?
Hi, my name is Six.
Okay, question mark, maybe.
No. So it's not gonna do that. It's not gonna put a question mark.
No, hi, my name is Six.
Nope.
0.
No.
Break.
It breaks.
What's that?
It breaks. Okay, what's dog +7?
Break.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Have
If I come up to you and I say, hey man, what's like cat +3? They'll tell me to like take a nap or something, right? Because that doesn't make any sense. What's fish +40? That doesn't make any sense. So here it says can only concatenate string to string. Another way I could do this, if I did like 6, watch. If I did like 7 plus Fred, that makes literally no sense. You can't add a string to an int. It doesn't make sense. Even just saying it out loud, it doesn't make sense. So those are variables. One last thing, if you want to stick around a little longer, something called conditionals. So conditionals is where you get logic stuff. Now, what do I mean by logic stuff? Yeah. Conditionals is if this, then that. So it's literally what lawyers do for a living. Has anybody here ever looked at like an LSAT before? Or, so when you if you want to go to law school,
Oh, you took my test.
yeah, if you want to go to law school, you have to take this test called the LSAT.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's this really hard, it's like all about logic. They'll give you like a case, it's like the governor of this state passed this law and then the price of lumber increased this much. Is it true that because the governor did this act, the lumber, like you have to like use logic. That's just lawyer stuff. That's what this is. If this, then that. Let me give you another example. You come to Chicago during winter break when me and both of my siblings, or both of my younger siblings are there, right? My mom asks for the dishes to be done. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna say, I did them yesterday. My sister's gonna say, okay, but before yesterday, I did them 6 times in a row. My brother is gonna say, okay, but if that were true, then how did I do them 2 days ago? And then we're all gonna get really mad at each other. And it's gonna take longer for us to argue about doing the dishes than it is for us to just do the dishes. But we're gonna have this whole like lawyer, like if I did it yesterday, then you should do it tomorrow or today. If then, that's a condition. So what does that look like in code? So together, let's make a new variable called sky, okay? And we're gonna set it equal to blue. So I'll have you guys follow along with what I'm doing here. So first, do exactly as I do. Let's make a new variable called sky. Just put it underneath your name or just make a new line at the end of your code. So make this new variable and call it sky. And set it equal to blue, just like I have here. So I'm sure you guys have this okay. That seems good. That seems good. That seems good. That seems good. Yeah, that's perfect. Well, put a space after the equal sign. So you can see it says sky space equals space blue. Make sure there's a space after the equal sign. Okay, sure. So we said sky equal to blue. Okay. So now we have this variable. It's not doing anything yet, but we're going to use it in an interesting way. So take a look at my presentation. So take a look at this, right? Take a look at my code. I'll recreate it. So sky is blue, right? If sky equals blue, print nice weather, exclamation point. What do you think is going to happen? Notice we have the same indentation as we did in the for loop, which means this is attached to this.
Okay.
So think, you don't even, and you don't know this yet because I haven't taught you, but if you just look at this and made it,
A nice weather.
yeah, so you think it's going to print nice weather. Yeah, that's true. That's exactly what it does. So we run it, it prints nice weather.
But it didn't say sky is blue.
No, it didn't print this. There's no print statement in here, right?
No.
No,
Okay.
there isn't a print statement until line 3. So it prints out nice weather. Now, let me ask you guys this. What do you think is going to happen if I change blue to gray? What do you guys think is going to happen when I hit run?
It's great.
Not going to break. There won't be an error.
It'll change the weather.
So let me be specific. What do you think is going to be displayed out here? Not nice weather. That's right. So, okay, let me ask you guys this. Why did it print nice weather? Why do you think it printed nice weather? Because sky is blue. So when sky was blue, what happened was I set sky equal to blue, right? And then if the sky is blue, let's go ahead and say, oh yeah, nice weather, right? Okay. Now, but if I have this as gray, what do you think it's going to print on the right? Not stormy. I didn't say it. No one didn't say do anything.
I think you get question mark,
Not a question.
confusion.
It's literally, do you want me to show you? I'll show you. Nothing.
Oh,
It broke.
It doesn't break.
okay.
It's not an error. It's just not doing anything.
Okay.
So here's what happens. So the sky is gray, right? So we get to line 3 and we ask ourselves, if sky is blue, print nice weather. So here's what happens. The sky is gray, right? So we got to line 3 and the computer asked itself, oh, is the sky blue? It's not. We can see the sky is gray. So this fails. If sky equals blue, that check, that conditional fails, which means it's not going to do anything in here. So that means if this conditional fails, if this is ruled as false, it will not do anything down here. And I can add a whole bunch of stuff here. I could print hello. I could print 9. I could print 9 times 3. I could add a whole bunch of stuff, right? It won't do any of it. It ignores all of it. If down here I say print hi, it'll do it. See, because it's outside of the if statement. But because the sky is gray, this check here will fail and it won't do anything in here. So this is important in programming if you want to do one thing for certain things and other things for others. Which is a little broad, but if we think about like,
Everything has to have instruction.
yeah, right. If we have one big list with a whole bunch of stuff in it, but there are some things on the list that we want to do A to, and some things on the list we want to do B to, we need something like this. So again, if I change this back to blue, watch what happens. I run it, and it very happily does nice weather. Hello, 27 and high.
Right.
But if I change it to gray, or if I change it to black, or if I change it to green or red, or who knows? We'll change it to red. It's not blue. It has to, and fun fact, it has to be exactly this. Yeah. Yeah. So if I do blue with a capital B, it won't work.
Right.
Has to be exactly how I spell it here. So this is what a conditional is. A conditional is a way of filtering things. So if sky is blue, we'll happily do all the stuff down.
Mhm.
So that's one way we can use a conditional. Now, we make this gray, nothing happens. Now, we can account for gray skies. So the way we would do that is, if sky is blue, we'll say nice weather. Else, print, what do we say? Bad weather. So watch what happens next. If I hit run, it says nice weather, right?
Mhm.
Well, what do you think is going to happen if I change this to gray?
Right.
Bad weather. So here's what's happening logically. The code, because remember, the code always starts at the first line and then works its way down. So we start with the sky is gray. Then the computer asks, oh, is the sky blue? No. So that's when it just defaults to else. Else is like a default. So if I fail this, I'll just default to the else. And that means I could put anything in here, you know, I could put gibberish, bad weather. I could put 3, bad weather. I could put in a normal, like a number 3, bad weather. I could put in, who knows? Like, seriously, I could just put in whatever I want. If it's not exactly this, it's bad weather. So that's how a conditional is. Yeah, I think that'll be here. Congratulations.
Oh.
You're now an entry-level programmer. I'd like to applaud your efforts.
Wow.
Got some confetti.
Oh my goodness. Where's the champagne?
I'm not that rich, man. But
Well, you know, you make us appreciate the
Right.
geeks behind all of this,
Right.
yeah,
you know?
this is what we do. Here, you know what? Last 2 things I'll show you guys. One, if you want to learn more about this, this could be just a fun thing to do in your pastime. Go ahead and go to Google. Look up Codecademy Python 3.
Academy.
Yes, it's actually Codecademy, like one word. But you just look up Codecademy Python 3, just like I have it here. So I'll let you write that down. I'll give you a few seconds to write that down.
Code Academy,
See how it's just Codecademy.
Academy.
Yeah, Codecademy.
Oh.
It's like code and academy, but just like Codecademy as like one word. So Codecademy Python 3. So I'll let you write that down. Give you a few seconds for that.
Learn Python for free. Python 3 for free.
Yes, okay. So is anybody still writing this down? No? So let me show you what this is. So Codecademy, it's going to be the first result in Google. And you probably need to use a computer for this, or at least a tablet. But it'll take you to this website. It'll give you some explanation, blah, 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 doesn't matter. Go ahead and
Get a
hit,
certificate?
I guess you do, yeah. You get a little, you get a certificate. But if you hit start, let me show you what it does. It's a lot like what we were doing today. I'm gonna just sign in using my Google account. 1 second.
Oh, you have to sign in?
Yeah, you can just use your Google account, and it's fine. But here I'll show you.
I don't have a Google.
You can register with an email address. But here, so kind of like what we were doing today, it gives you a set of instructions on the left, or it just gives you some context or whatever. Then some stuff to type in in the middle, and then an output on the right. So basically what it's going to do is it's going to ask you to complete little challenges that get increasingly complex as time goes on. When I was learning Python initially, this is what they had us use. It's free, it's safe. It's also just the way they arrange their lessons. It's really comprehensive, and you can move at whatever pace you want. You can do one exercise, close your computer, open it 5 weeks later, and then just move on to the next exercise if you wanted to. So you can move at whatever pace you like. So here, the first thing it asks, write a comment describing the first program you want to write. So I'm going to write a comment. Hello, this is a comment. In Python, a comment is just a line that starts with a pound key. And what that does is it does nothing. So it's just a way to like label your code. Yeah.
So what's Python? I haven't heard this before.
Python is it's a programming language. So when you create software, when you create code, you could use Python, C++, Java, stuff like that. Python is one of them. Yeah. So see, it asked me to create a comment, right? And then I run it, and it checks. So I successfully did the task, and then I can go to the next thing. And then it asks me to print hello world, so on and so forth. And it gets increasingly complex. So if you're interested in learning Python on your own, I would look up Codecademy Python 3. You could try out their tutorial. It's very fun. It's very fun. Codecademy Python 3. The other thing too, this is more like a bonus feature. I'll show you guys. So when I was a junior in high school, or the summer after my junior year in the summer after my junior year of college, I did an internship with Department of Energy lab in Illinois. And so I had to code like as a job, right? So that was my internship. And I'm gonna just show you, we did like print statements and like if else and stuff like that. I'm gonna show you how complex, some of the more complex code I've written. So this is some code that I wrote for my internship. You can see it's really long. Yeah, it's used, and I'm actually proud of that. Like people do, in fact, use
You
this.
get paid for it?
Yeah, I got paid. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Let's see. It's a whole bunch of instructions. We have a lot of logic here.
You get
Somebody
ridiculous?
but somebody really oversaw it.
Yes, and it was me and then 2 scientists, and
Wow.
they needed me to build something. So I built them this software
That's
suite.
impressive.
Yeah. So.
Because you said you do something for the tram or something. for
Oh
the-
yeah, I'm building, and we have to talk with the RIOC, or the Roosevelt
RIAC.
Island. RIAC, yeah, we have to talk with them about that because we need some information from them. But yeah, we
About
haven't.
the tram?
Yeah,
Cause I
yeah.
have a complaint about the tram. They had this one guy, I remember the tram was out for like 3 weeks. Cause they had this one guy who knew what to do about the tram. I said.
Yeah, it can be, sometimes it doesn't fall through. But yeah, I don't know, this is like an example. That's one example of code. I also wrote like this, blah, 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 blah. So this is like what we did today, but
How
like
long did this take?
this took a summer. And it's like, it's funny because it's like, this is like just, this is 200 lines, and like this other thing here is like 314 lines.
Wow.
But it took a long time because it was like, it's very meticulous,
Right.
you know? Yeah.
Hello, Agustin,
Yeah.
you have to
Yeah, I typed all of this. In fact,
Wow.
for a lot of my internship, I was in New York here. I typed it in like Gramercy.
But you said you have a box where you put.
Oh, that was a metaphor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I would type every time.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I use that a lot. Yeah,
You have to type or you can copy and paste.
I used a lot of copy pasting, but there are just some things that you need to.
Tests or exams, you can do that. You have to-
No, and you mean like in tests when they test you on this kind of thing? You can
still
copy.
do that.
I actually I've had a few classes where they make you handwrite code.
No, I know that.
They make you handwrite it. So all the stuff I showed you, they make you handwrite it, which is so that they can test like,
Punishment.
yeah, if they can, they're like, oh, if by memory I'm able to do this. Yeah, so.